Hello and welcome back with another tutorial. This is Alaa from VFX Arabia. I received a couple of emails asking me about the technique I used to achieve the mapping for the road in my video under the title Road Destruction Glenmary, especially after posting the breakdown video. And my answer was by writing a script that automates the process of creating camera map modifiers and a composite map for the road or the desired object. But it sounded harder than it really is. Here I am today sharing this script with you guys, and I will guide you step by step on how to use it. So let's check it out. Let's go first into some theory and how I ended up using this solution, not something else. What I needed was a solution that gives me a consistent texture across the objects. No seams, no pixelating, no smears in the texture. The first thing that will occur in one's mind is to pick a frame where all of your object is in that frame and apply a camera map modifier. Well, that like in this frame is like all of your object is it can appear in the first frame. Why not to apply just a camera map modifier and apply that frame to that object? This solution might help if your camera is not gonna go in depth, which is the case in our project here. It's going in depth. If your camera was going to go only sideways, there's no problem. Let me show you why this will not work. I applied a camera map modifier with the camera that will project the UV, and I applied this material which holds only the first frame. So if you rendered, let me just turn off the background. It's a perfect result. Everything is clear, no pixelation, nothing. But let's go somewhere here and render, and hell, no way this is gonna work. Let me show you from far perspective what's going on here. What happened is this texture is perfect from a very low angle and from where we projected the map, which is here. But it's useless if we are gonna go inside, zoom, we're not gonna be able to use it. So we need a solution that, let me bring back the environment. I need a solution that gives me, for example, in this frame, the first frame, this area here seems to be perfect, a high resolution, the texture is clear, only this portion, and a couple of frames later I need this portion also, just this portion, and so on and so forth. Each couple of frames I need just the clear part of the texture till the end, and this can be shown here in the video. As you can see, I only need this part for the first camera, and then second part, then third, then fourth, then fifth, and so on and so forth, and combine all of those in one single map. So how to achieve this is snapshot the camera across its timeline, apply a camera map modifier for each one of those, and apply a map with the mask, combine them together in a composite map, and apply it to the object. And that's what the script is doing. I'll show you the final result here. The material is gonna look like this, as you can see here. And if I unhide the cameras, we will have a couple of cameras. Each one works perfectly with the camera map modifier. Like here is camera 1 and camera 60, camera 190, and also work perfectly with the material composite here. Like this one is frame number 1, this from 60, and this 190, as you can see here, and if you continue 178, and this script will also create for you a mask with a resolution you specify, and the name would reflect the frame that it is masking. Frame 1 mask 1, and frame 60 mask 60. And pay attention that this script will also take into consideration the map channel ID, which is gonna change. It's like here is 3, here is 4, here is 5, for the map not to overlap. So how this script works and how it looks like, let's see. We're gonna start with a brand new scene, only our object and the camera, the animated camera. Nothing is applied to the object, no materials, and even the modifiers, no modifiers. I made sure that the maps folder is empty where the masks are gonna be stored. I will apply or run the script straightforward to get you engaged, and then I will explain about it. So I'll open the script. It's pretty much a simple script, just a couple of hundreds of lines, nothing much, a couple of function, and then run. That's it. When you first run the script, it takes into consideration the time range, so it will automatically put the time range to the one you are using. Pick your object. I put filter, so only objects can be picked, not cameras. The same for the camera. Specify the range 1 to 300. How many cameras do you want across this time range? Let's say 5. Specify the backplate path, the maps, where are they gonna be stored, the mask maps, the resolution, and here just pay attention. The ID I'll explain later, no problem. Hit generate, and that's it. The cameras are named perfectly to correspond with the frame they capture. Also the material, everything okay, the channels, the naming, everything fine. That's it. And after this, you'll start just painting your masks using the built-in tool, viewboard canvas. So let me show you here first the maps. Just black, nothing, empty maps. 1024. That's it. Just delete them. I will explain now just some instructions to be aware when dealing with this tool to make it work. Oh, sorry. First, just make sure the backplate numbering is exactly the same as frame numbers. I started with 0, or let's say here from 1 to 300. The backplate numbering is from 0 to 300. So at least the time range we are working in is inside the numbering of the backplate. The tool time range should be inside the range of template, as I explained also. So this one should be, for example, if the backplate from 0 to 300, we can choose inside this range from 50 to 100 to 200, but inside this range. Another thing, when I here made you able to choose the frames, exact frames, why is this important? Sometimes if you have a bad luck like mine, you will end up when choosing automatic frames, your frames might be blurry, like the camera is shaking or some debris is in the air. It's not the perfect frame to capture and paint the texture. So I give you the options here to write the frames you want. So when you write those frames, also make sure that they are inside the range we are dealing here, and make sure they are in order, like in an ascending order, like 1, 10, 20, 30. Don't say, for example, 50 and then after 50, 35. It will not work. Another thing about the naming of backplate, please make sure it is written this way, a name underscore and then the number. Don't put any numbers inside the name, because the way my script working is to filter the name from numbers. So if you have numbers here, please delete them and just make the numbers only after the underscore. If I open here F11, I already run the script, so I tell it to print the naming. When I choose the backplate file, it automatically will know the file name, the path of the file, the name without numbering, the numbering, and what is the extension of the file. So just please pay attention for how you name your files, and the number that is supported is until four digits. Like you can have 2 digits, 3 digits, or 4 digits for your numbering. One last thing is the ID. Before running the script, make sure you have UVW for the mask, because it is separated from the projection, the camera map modifiers. So here, for example, if I apply normal planar UV and set the ID to 1, so make sure this ID is the same as this one, because it will preserve it for the mask and then continue from above 1 and specify it for the backplate. So the mask will be 1, the backplate will start from 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on to the number you specify here. Let's get it work. So let's start painting the mask. Let me show you here. If I choose, for example, frame 1 dot, and also to separate numbers, you can use dot, comma, dash, space, anything. All of those are supported. So let's use here dot 15, 30, 50, 100, 150, 250, just to show you how this works. And hit generate. As you can see, the naming will match the numbers we put. We have 1, 15, 30, 50, and for the modifiers, they are applied, but I told the script to collapse the mesh. It's much neater this way. So now let's try do some painting. For the sake of demonstration here, I'm gonna just make the camera a bit more distributed, not very close to each other, to show you the result more clear. Let me delete those and choose the automatic creation. Generate 1024 is enough for this, and the ID1 is already done for this model. Generate, and that's it. I'll put 2 screens here. And tools, viewport canvas, select your object. We're gonna start by painting on the mask 01. We are already on frame 01, so we put it in shade mode so you can see. Make sure the map channel is 1, or set to exactly the same number as your mask map channel. Press here, go to diffuse, and then the composite channels here. We're gonna paint on the mask 01. Choose it, and let's fill it with black first. Or it's already black. I set it to be automatically black. Let's start painting. The mask gonna overlap, so to check how much you're gonna need to paint, go here to the next camera, and it's not gonna appear. And as you can see here, it's like you need to paint more to overlap with the next camera. Let's do a simple test render. Sorry. Good. It's painting, right? Right. As you can see here, we already painted the first mask. You can see it here. We painted the first area. So let's move to the next camera. Grab. Close this. Okay. Now, mask number 2 is at frame 60. So we can choose this camera, 60. And not too late. No, what am I talking about? This is 60. Sorry. I should select the object. Channel 1. Go on. There's no harm if you paint it in this area where the mask one is because anyway the order of the maps of the composite maps is this one is above all, so whatever you painted here is gonna be beneath it, so it's not gonna be appear or make any problems. Let's gonna paint, and again, until when we can know by going to the next camera, which is this one, and on this we overlap. Okay, cancel it. Then next one, third mask. Next camera, okay. And overlap. Okay, cancel. Let's see the result we achieved until now. We are doing great. See this one, we need just to overlap it more. This is the second mask. 60. And pay attention, sometimes a viewport canvas doesn't work with a safe frame, so you should remove the safe frame. Okay, that's it. Perfect. Sometimes you see such things because of the auto white balance of the camera, the sun, a lot of factors might affect the coloring, so those things can be solved by using Photoshop. After you finish, you do some retouching or increase the number of cameras so it blends more. Object. Now the fourth mask. Let's choose the camera. This one. Ah, here. We can paint until we reach second one, overlap. Okay, that's it. Good taste. Also the same here, we should just extend it more. The third mask. And pretty much that's it. Continue so on and so forth. Fourth mask, fifth mask, and sixth until you achieve the final result. One or two things to pay attention to. Sometimes your object is a bit complex or have overlapping faces. Be careful that your mask UV should be unwrapped carefully, for overlapping problems might appear while you're painting your masks. And another thing I wanted to mention, it's not always advisable after you finish mapping your object is to do rendered texture, because rendered texture has some limitation of the output, especially if your object is big. For example, like this road, we have like a couple of high definition images that involved into um, the final map for this. So it's like you have more than 8,000 pixels here. So I don't think rendered texture is gonna help you in big scene situations. So just be careful. That's it for this tool. Is pretty simple to use and powerful. I'm gonna just wrap up everything. Just evaluate the tool, select your object, select the camera, the range, how many iterations you want, how many cameras, or you can specify the frames manually, specify the file path, It will obtain everything automatically, and the maps files, also the resolution you're gonna work, and the mask channel ID and hit generate, and that's it. You can check here the maps. Those are the maps we drew. The other are the test we did for the manual frames. That's it pretty much. One might ask why I choose camera map, the modifier, not the camera map per pixel. What is the difference? If we open the max help file, the first limitation you will find and search for the camera map per pixel, the first limitation for this map is it doesn't work with animated objects, which is in our case we need it because we're gonna break the ground. We want the chunks to preserve their UVs while they are moving, flying in the air. So this map won't work for us. Um, some would say, why not painting it in Mudbox, like export the object with the cameras and use stencils? Well, I tried it also. It's a bit hard, time consuming. You need to look through each camera, load the stencil, try to match the angle because sometimes it's not exported well. The scale of the scene, sometimes you will face some culling in the viewport. I don't know why. So I found like this solution is by far the most suitable for these situations where you can easily paint your textures and like merge it with reality. And that's it for this video tutorial and for this tool. Hope you enjoy it and find it beneficial. See you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.